First of all, you need to find the right speech. Right, I have it. What an honor I have today. Excellencies, Minister Al-Mashat, President Richard Doney, members of the Board of Trustees, I'm profoundly honored and touched by the decision of the American University in Cairo and its Board of Trustees to confer upon me the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. I first want to extend my thanks to the faculty, administrators, and staff of AUC for the great hospitality, and my congratulations on making this a world-class institution of learning. I'm also very thankful for the opportunity to speak here as you celebrate nearly 100 years of a storied existence. The university has come a long way from its early days when it awarded its first diplomas to just 20 students for the junior college in 1923. So, congratulations to the graduates here today, whose lives will show so much promise for our nation and the world. This is a big day. This is a big day for all of you, which you have worked tirelessly to reach. You deserve to be recognized and to feel proud for reaching this milestone. Congratulations, class 2018. Now, before I go any further, and especially that the introduction of the President may have raised your expectations beyond what I'm going to say, I like first, without any confusion, you are graduates now, you can follow simple instructions. Now, I'd like to ask all of the AUC students graduating today to stand. All of you graduating today, please stand. Now, I want you all to turn around and face the audience behind you. Now, please join me in applauding and thanking the people who helped you achieve what you are being recognized for today. Your parents, your family, your friends, and of course, your teachers here on campus and in other phases of your lives. Congratulations, and all of us are recognizing your achievement, and as a father of a student who's going to graduate hopefully soon, I really recognize what you did. Now it's about time for you to relax, don't go anywhere. There are a few messages I'd like to share with you. I was told that I have to be brief. For a university professor, especially from the Faculty of Economics and Political Science, it's hard to manage, but I'm been cutting many phrases, and there is going to be a speech as a text available as well, in addition, of course, to this video that will be recorded for history. As President Richard Doney mentioned, I had many affiliations with many universities, but my relationship with the AUC was rather a direct one. I recall that one of the first research assistants I had, it was through an opportunity by the great professor, Dr. Heba Handousan, who offered me a job as a research assistant. And I learned a great deal from the great econometricians in this university, including, of course, Professor William Mikhail, a great man of great knowledge. I also admire the great sense of humor and the way of simplifying matters that was mastered by Professor Adil Bishay. In addition, many staff members of my faculty, the Faculty of Economics and Political Science, had taught here in different capacities. Actually, one of my students who became a PhD student after that, I learned that her daughter is graduating today. So it's a kind of an overlapping generations model. And if you don't understand that, this is just an economist joke. So you can skip without any harm. What makes this day even more special for me is the fact that your valedictorian, Mariam, is the daughter of Akram Aqil Mazhar, one of my closest friends, whom I met when we were 17, just beginning university. Akram wasn't just my close friend, he was also an example of how a man should be. He was a man of dignity, he was a man of generosity, with great sense of humor and infinite wisdom. It was one of the saddest days of my life when we lost him 5 years ago, when he was just 48 years old. Mariam, you have made us all proud, along with your friends and colleagues today. And without doubt, your father would have been the happiest person here celebrating your achievement. For all of you graduating today, you must know that it is a rare privilege to have this kind of prestigious education. And it is the rule in life that with great privileges comes great responsibility. Your impact will be felt, whether you go on to receive more degrees, join academia, start a business, work in a corporation, in civil service, to be in civil service, have a life in non-profit work, or become an artist, or a professional athlete. But please, please, in whatever you do, don't allow anyone to call you Khabir Strategy, a strategic expert. You know what I mean. So you can do anything, but avoid that. I know it's customary in commencement speeches to tell the graduates, go and change the world. But all of you would know today that our world is really changing. It's changing very fast. So I'm going to share with you 3 specific messages that may help you flourish and survive in today's world. The first one is about perseverance. James Baker, a former US Secretary of State and a rare kind of a statesman, was frequently quoted by former World Bank President Bob Zoellick as saying that prior preparation prevents poor performance. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. These are the 5 P's which underpin the idea of perseverance. Those who are most prepared are most likely to have the best performance. I served with Bob Zoellick for many years, and it was very good guidance from him. He used it a lot in our meetings. Yet, as my daughter Zewail, an argumentative third-year engineering student at Dartmouth College, challenged me once, saying, prepared or not, failure does happen. This is the new generation that one has to survive, it seems. Don't you know, she asked, that your favorite actor, and indeed he is, Will Smith said, fail early, fail often, fail forward. It's a bit awkward for a day of success that I talk about perseverance and failure, because this may happen, but you shouldn't really be shocked if it happened. In Silicon Valley in California, the home of the world's greatest tech breakthroughs, there is another alliterative saying among the venture capital community, fail forward fast. They embrace the iterations because mistakes and failures define the boundaries of success. One ought to remember that fear of failure, not failure itself, is the biggest enemy of success. In this great day of your achievement and success, one needs to know that if failure happens, it isn't always, and actually shouldn't be, due to lack of effort. There are, of course, many external factors beyond your control. One factor beyond our control is often our health. I missed my first postgraduate exam due to a procedure that I had to make. It was a frustrating experience, but it enriched me at the same time, bonding me closer with classmates and flatmates who rescued me, calling an ambulance. It was very much appreciated because I was abroad then, and the connection with family was very difficult. That was before the mobile phones and even the internet. Yet, for all of the healers of the world, like those great nurses at Coventry University and the Hospital of Coventry in England, the world has many people who seek to cause harm or pull others down. Pulling others down sometimes is a habit of people, and I know despite your young experience of life, you may have seen such characters. In a conversation I had with His Holiness, the late Pope Shenouda III, I mentioned a little anecdote I had heard about him, that people said that the Pope remarked that acronym PhD stands for pull him down. He smiled very kindly and said, no, I didn't say that, but I could use it in some very particular occasions. He was a man of great sense of humor. But he told me, let me tell you something better. And he said in Egyptian Arabic, الراجل النبي مطرح ما ترميه تلاقيه. You may have heard that for the first time. But that could be translated as, whatever situation you put a clever man, and for that, a clever woman, of course, into, despite the odds, he or she will persevere. I joined the government of Egypt, as mentioned by the president, at a very young age. I was the youngest member of the board of the Central Bank of Egypt in its entire history, and the youngest cabinet minister. During my time in government, which lasted for around 15 years in different capacities, I found that in times of tough decisions or criticism, some people around you may offer unsolicited advice, quoting proverbs irrelevant to the context, such as لا يرمى بالحجارة إلا النخيل المثمر. Only the fruit with palm trees is hit with stones. Don't follow this kind of misleading advice. I was always reacted by, as a farmer, I was more familiar with the oranges and citrus fruits, and we need really to focus on something else. One must consider what went wrong in order to improve. Was it due to a bad decision, bad communication, bad timing, or was it just politics? If it is just politics, you cannot do much about it. My second message is about inclusiveness. Let me recognize and celebrate the fact that this great university today managed to get 58% of its graduates from our daughters and sisters. 58% of the graduates are women. Congratulations, women in the room. And the gentlemen had to applaud that as well. Please applaud them. Get used to that. They are coming fast. They are dominating many scenes. Try to survive that and get used to it. This is an important aspect of inclusion, but I wish I could say the same about the inclusion of women in labor market or in the financial services. Here we have a lot of work to do as a community and as a society. As young people, you will play a leadership role and succeed. But you need to engage others as well. You need to engage community. As mentioned by the President, I'm responsible for the Global Sustainable Development Agenda at the World Bank Group. But it is very much the engagement at the local level that will make the difference. We live in communities. Your education, your health, the transport system is all about how can you localize these global goals into your communities. Let me give you very quick two examples. You should have learned by now that there are great achievers at the local community. One of them is Professor Mohammed Ghanem. In the local community of Mansoura in the Egyptian Delta, he managed to develop a center of excellence for treating kidney disease. Another great example, Professor Dr. Magdi Yaqub, who had great success in establishment of a world-class center for heart disease. So those two great examples have managed to get global knowledge, international experience, and to localize it. I'm giving you this tip because wherever you may go, and you will go places, and you will travel, and you will have many chances to succeed, you may need really to consider what you can do for the local communities, not just in Cairo and Alexandria and the big cities, but for the local communities at large. The third, and for your comfort, the final message that I like to share is about progress. I like to share the great wisdom of Dr. Zaki Naguib Mahmoud, the Egyptian philosopher, in his last book, The Harvest of the Years. After many years of learning and studying the civilizations of the East and the West, he said, if there is one value that is worthy of embracing, it is the value of progress. And you are facing this kind of a challenge because from now, you need really to face the challenges and the opportunities of the labor market. May I advise you, and I hate the word because my daughter taught me not to say it, but I'm still coming with a legacy of trying to be an advisor. Please try to broaden the scope of your opportunities. Yes, you came out with your specialization, but you need to broaden the opportunities beyond borders, beyond discipline, and this university gave you the tools for that. I assume that you speak Arabic perfectly, you have a good command of the English language, but if I'm advising anyone, you should really start learning one of the Asian languages, including, of course, Chinese. For any progress to happen, wisdom is critical, but it is very much as a pinnacle of a pyramid built first on knowledge. And it will not be very much wise to assume that people at very young age, against the advice of my daughter, that they have all the wisdom, knowledge, and information they need. So the advisor to the Pharaoh, Ptah said, don't be conceited about your own knowledge. The perfect word is as rare as an emerald, yet it may be found among the maid servants working at the millstone. And indeed, nothing can match the words of Holy Quran. يؤتي الحكمة من يشاء ومن يؤتى الحكمة فقد أوتي خيرا كثيرا. This verse, which was frequently cited by one of the wisest people in my life, my late mother, she always reminded me, Allah gives wisdom to whom He wills, and whoever has been given wisdom has certainly been given much good. Until this moment, and I didn't have a chance to ask her, were she quoting this verse because I did something wise or foolish, but she didn't really give me an answer, and it's good that she didn't. It wouldn't be very wise to assume that deep knowledge can be attained at very young age, as I said, but how to do it is basically seek advice. Don't be reluctant to ask somebody whom you trust and with some achievements in life, because you would need it. When I aspired to be in public service at the very young age of 11, I was advised against this aspiration. And as you can see, I didn't listen. You pay the price, but you will be happy that it was your decision. Then at the age of 16, I decided to become a physician. My father, who was one good physician, I assume, he didn't really see me as qualified for the job, and he convinced me in different ways not to be one. Then I got the marks or the grade for me to be an engineer, and then I had a good debate with my family, including my late uncle, whose son is here, my cousin Ibrahim Mahmoud Mohieldin. He advised me that engineering as well is not a good path for me. So I went for economics. I'm not regretting it, and I think I did what I managed within it. And that all was at the age of 17. And one of the biggest decisions that you will do in your life or make is the decision to marry. And I married my wife at the age of 21. I met Yomna, my wife, a fellow student then, and I can say that after many years of marriage, that was a very wise decision. And of course, it isn't wise to say otherwise. For a nation, pursuit of progress is rapidly changing the world and is like very much a marathon. I didn't really quote any other kinds of sports. I know the FIFA World Cup brings some interesting, good lessons. But let's think about it as a kind of a marathon. And this marathon, you need really to be equipped as an individual. And for the nation itself, it needs to invest in three things. It needs to invest in infrastructure, especially the infrastructure for knowledge and information exchange and the infrastructure of ideas. It needs to invest in resilience. And this is a very big story that may require another speech, perhaps. And the most important of the investment is indeed the investment in human capital. I'm proud that I serve at the World Bank Group, whose president, Jim Kim, is leading a transformational global effort called the Human Capital Project that we hope will help prepare everyone to compete and thrive in the economy of the future, whatever that may turn to be. I'm emphasizing that because all of you graduating today and those who invested in your capital, the human capital, a great example of what we mean by that. The only problem that we need in this country, in this region, and indeed this world, more of you who are not just going to get certificates as bachelors of arts or bachelor of science, but basically a license for lifelong learning. And your journey starts now. It is yours to define, yet many others will share the road with you. Your common destination is a world that is a sum of all of your dreams and our dreams at large. To those you uploaded earlier, your family and friends and those who supported you and who sit in the chairs behind you and around you today, you are both in their debt, yet also obligated to repay that debt to the next generation. And you will do it as your parents did and still are doing. I wish you many blessings and the very best of luck as you travel toward a brilliant future. Thank you. Congratulations again. Alfa Mabruk. Thank you.
Dr. Mohieldin, thank you for those very inspiring words. And well, I think you already may know who I'm going to ask to come up to the podium. This year, the representative of the graduating class is both a candidate for the degree of the Bachelor of Arts in Multimedia Journalism and also an accomplished writer for one of our publications. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Mariam Mohamed Mazhar.
Esteemed faculty, colleagues, family, and friends, good evening and welcome to the Spring 2018 Commencement. It's definitely a miracle when you wished your father was here, but then his best friend is and is recognize him, so it's like he was called to be here. I'm honored to be standing before you today, a dream I almost thought was impossible. Every semester, As I watch one student out of hundreds stand on this podium to deliver a speech, I think to myself, why did they choose to do that? What moved them to take on such responsibility? Then I realized that maybe for them, this is a dream too, just like it is for me. But standing here today means I must have something worth saying. Something that might not necessarily inspire you, change your life, or even leave you with a sense of astonishment, but something that might establish a connection among us. Today, I decided to talk to you about fear. It's not too dark, I promise. It's the one feeling I walked into AUC with, and I'm now obviously still walking out with. Maybe we're afraid of different things, but the one thing we all have in common is that at some point in the past 4 or 5 years, we have experienced this emotion deeply and truthfully. You felt it when you were troubled with choosing between the sciences and the arts, believing it to be a life-changing decision, even though it might not change any lives, not even your own. Or when you were too attached to a group of people not ready for it to let them go. Or when you were worrying that your life was not going in towards the right direction, or any direction at all. Throughout your journey at AUC, fear has been the one thing that has accompanied you through it all. And no matter how far you move away from it, it keeps going back. You were afraid to fail that exam you started studying for the day before, or not ace the presentation that was going to get you the grade you needed for declaration. You were afraid to lose the elections, lose the game, or not make it through a club recruitment interview. But never were you asked not to be afraid. Some would even say that the fire you felt in your stomach is what pushed you through and got you through the journey. So just like it was okay to say you were afraid within AUC's borders, it's also okay to say you're afraid beyond them. It's okay to be afraid of having your heart broken, of losing a loved one, or being alone. It's okay to be afraid that you just want to start a family or not at all. It's okay to be afraid that you don't want a prestigious job. Whatever unreasonable and illogical fear you carry, we probably all have that in common. I'm not preaching for a life full of fear, but what I'm telling you is that you get to decide if those uncertainties are justified and then turn them into the fuel that would only push you forward if you let it. When I became a teaching assistant for 3 different courses, and when I applied to become an editor, and later on a senior editor at the Caravan, I was scared and doubtful, but I was told that was normal. I was anxious, but AUC taught me, all of us actually, to turn that fear into motivation and be great at every challenge. But when my brother had a terrible accident when I was 16 years old, when I lost my father and best friend at 17, when I was diagnosed with anxiety at 18, when my house burned down when I was 20, or when at 21 I came to realize that the things that I thought should last in my life actually don't, I was scared. And looking back at these moments, no one had the courage to tell me to embrace that fear or that it would make me any stronger. No one told me that being afraid during these moments only makes way for appreciation, love, care, and development. No one told me that these moments when you feel like you're on the verge of breaking down actually build your strength beyond anyone's imagination. And no one told me that every time I believed that fear and pain were constant, they weren't, but that they would feed my faith in something that's perhaps larger than us all. This is not just a personal story to show you any signs of strength, because honestly, strength was not there at any of those moments. There was just fear. At least for me, though. You should have seen my mother. She was stronger than all of them combined. And people can tell you to conquer your fears and push them aside all they want, but I tell you, embrace them. As the time comes for us to walk out of these doors, as students, perhaps for the last time, and venture into the real world, as they say, I say that every challenge, every course, and every obstacle within these gates was just as real as anything out there. And if you've gone through the journey without needing to belittle any of your fears, you can definitely go out there and conquer this world with your fears as well. Fellow graduates, like it was safe to say you were afraid within the fences and borders of AUC, remember that it's also okay to be afraid beyond them. It's okay because it will teach you that whichever hardship you thought of was constant actually is not. Only you can determine if this fear will hold you down or push you forward. Only you can decide where your fear takes you. Embrace it, appreciate it, and let it take you places you never imagined it could. Class of 2018, you have made it through because of all your fears. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Mariam, for this very moving speech. We have many outstanding students, some of whom have won awards in the course of their studies. Their names are listed in the program, and several will receive their awards as they receive their diplomas. We would like first, however, to award 2 cups for academic distinction and for institutional dedication, 2 awards for varied academic achievement, as well as the Omar Mohsen Athletic Achievement Cup. Mr. President, the President's Cup is presented at each commencement ceremony to the student or students who rank highest in the graduating class. In addition, these graduates are awarded the Mohammed M. El-Baladi Academic Award. This year, we are pleased to announce the ceremony's winners are Badr Khalid Al-Khamisi, Nadine Ahmed Mamdouh Wahdan, Rana Samir Ali Eid, Selma Mustafa Hassan, Selma Shukri Hussein Muhammad, Yasmin Ahmed Muhammad Amin. Here tonight to help present the Ahmed Zewail Endowed Prize for Excellence in the Sciences and Humanities is Dr. Dima Faham, wife of the late Dr. Ahmed Zewail. Yes.
I'd like very much to thank Mrs. Faham for coming. Dima, it's wonderful of you to honor us in person. I had the privilege of knowing your late husband all too briefly, but very significantly. His service to this university has been terrific when he was alive, and in this way will carry his memory forward. Thank you for coming personally to present the award.
Thank you. The pleasure is all. The Ahmed Zewail Endowed Prize for Excellence in the Sciences and Humanities was established by Dr. Ahmed Zewail to recognize an AUC honors graduate whose academic accomplishments demonstrate extraordinary commitment to the pursuit of scientific inquiry and the affirmation of humanistic values. Eligible students submit an essay for consideration. The winner of the Ahmed Zewail Prize is Aya Amr Abdel Halim, a candidate for the Bachelor of Arts in Economics. Thank you. The Mohammed bin Abdul Karim Al Hidan Award was established in 2017 to provide a biannual cash award to the highest performing student in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. STEM. Here to help present the award is Mr. Khalid Al Hidan, son of the late Mr. Mohammed Al Hidan. The winner of the Mohammed bin Abdul Karim Al Hidan Award is Badr Khalid Al Khamisi, a candidate for the Bachelor of Science in Computer Science.
While we're waiting for Badr to make his way to the stage, let me express my personal thanks to Mr. Khalid Al Hidan for his family's generosity to AUC. You help us provide the incredible services that we do and help the growth and nurturing of such people as we're about to award right now. It's very kind of you. Thank you so much.
No. And now George Marquis, Dean of Students, will, together with Maha Abdel Nasser, President of the Parents Association, announce the winner of the Parents Association Cup and the Omar Mohsen Athletic Achievement Cup. Other awards will be presented to the students with their diplomas.
At each commencement, AUC's Parents Association presents a cup to a student who has demonstrated unusual capability in blending academic achievement with a major contribution to student activities. The recipient is chosen by ballot by the members of the graduating class on the day of commencement. This year, the recipient of the award is Omar Asim Mahenni, a candidate for Bachelor of Science in Architectural Engineering. The next award is the Omar Mohsen Athletic Achievement Cup, which was founded in 2012 in memory and honor of AUC student Omar Mohsen, who tragically passed away in the Port Said events of 2012. The cup is awarded to a student who demonstrates considerable athletic achievement. This year, the recipient of the Omar Mohsen Athletic Achievement Cup is Farah Omar Abu Raya, a candidate for the Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. Farah was captain of the swimming team and a winner of numerous medals on both the national and international stages. In 2014, Farah won 2 gold and 1 silver medals at the national championships, 6 gold and 7 silver medals at the African Universities Tournament in Nairobi, Kenya, and a gold medal in the Philippines. In 2015, she won 1 gold and 2 silver medals, and in 2016, she won 3 silver medals at the national championships and 3 gold and 2 silver medals at the AUB President's Cup in Beirut.
Mr. President, the Excellence in Academic Performance Awards are presented at the June commencement ceremonies to faculty members who have excelled in their academic performances and who have gone far and beyond the call of duties. It gives me a great pleasure to recognize 2 such faculty members tonight. Our first award today is in the category of Excellence of Service, established in order to recognize excellent service to the university by full-time faculty member. I'm pleased to announce this year's Excellence in Service Award recipient and would like them to come to the stage to receive their awards. Dr. Mona Amir, Department of Psychology, and receiving this award in absentia. The second award tonight is in the category of Excellence in Teaching, established to recognize excellent teaching by a full-time faculty member. I'm pleased to announce this year's Excellence in Teaching Award recipient and would like them to come to the stage to receive their award. Dr. Izzuddin Saeed Ahmed, Department of Construction Engineering.
I'd like to thank all the award winners tonight, and again, to thank those who provide the awards. I should note my own appreciation for the Parents Association, not only in providing these awards, to Dr. Abdel Nasser personally for her leadership of the Parents Association. The parents are always there for us, always helping to make this a better university. Initiatives such as the Healthy Campus, no smoking, the safe driving, we owe a lot to our parents in addition to the individual support of each student. So thank you again, Dr. Abdel Nasser. I'd like to congratulate everyone and thank in particular Dr. Mahmoud Mohieldin, his mentoree, Minister Rania Al-Mashat, for coming this evening, for all that you do and that the Minister does for public service, both for Egypt and for the world. We thank you. We wish you a safe journey back home and en route to other stops on the way. It's amazing of you to take time from your schedule to share so many wonderful moments with us this evening. And also thank you again, Minister. I know each of you has other things to attend to this evening. It's a privilege that you took time to spend it with us. Would like to please join me in thanking them as they have to take their leave from us right now. Thank you.